I am the Chief Operating Officer for Cliste Hospitality and the iNUA Collection. So the iNUA Collection is a group of 16 hotels on the island of Ireland that we either own or manage, but we operate them. And we have a range of properties from our Muckross Park Hotel in Killarney, which is a 5-star hotel. We own and operate 4 Ransom Blue hotels in key locations, Limerick, Athlone, Sligo and Cork. And then we have a number of other independent properties around the country, including the Voco Hotel in Belfast, which was the old Radisson Blue that we just refurbished. So currently 16 hotels in the group, which is a good portfolio. When I joined the company in 2019, it was a company that was buying hotels, and they were all very individual assets. It wasn't pulled together under a group structure. So at that point, we had 7 hotels. They were quite disjointed. A couple of them would have had a firewalk system in place, but a lot of them didn't. So what was an immediate concern for me was, that regular check on fire exits, fire extinguishers, emergency lights, that while it was happening, and it may have been sporadic, and in some hotels it wasn't happening, but there was no way of actually recording it and verifying that it was being done. And having come from a hotel group that had previously used FireCloud, what was key for me was to get FireCloud into the group as soon as possible. And, the initial plan, the initial target was to get 3 firewalks done a day, so I knew that every fire exit was being checked, every emergency light, every extinguisher, every door, and basically that our hotels were safe environments for our customers. Just to say, it doesn't mean that the hotels weren't safe, but what FireCloud did for me was give the peace of mind that I knew they were being checked. General managers knew they were being checked. My usual adage when I talk about FireCloud is, I can sleep well at night. I'm in charge and responsible for health and safety for the entire company, and I can sleep well at night knowing that in the morning our fire exits are checked, in the evening they're checked, and overnight they're checked. And I suppose that peace of mind comes at huge value for me. Started off with the firewalks. That was the initial system, and I remember when I worked with Kevin many years ago, that was the initial system, was the firewalks. And then it's now evolved. There's monthly fire extinguisher checks, monthly fire door checks on emergency lighting. And I know now we've evolved, obviously, to the sort of document storage module within FireCloud, which is fantastic. So now I've oversight across all of the hotels. Not only do I know that daily, weekly, monthly check's being done, I also know that the certification on all of those fire life systems is in date. And I know it's being checked by contractors properly as well. So I suppose even more peace of mind and even better sleep at night is probably the best way to put it. I liked the product. I'd worked with it before. I did look at a number of different systems. There are a number of, fire check systems in place. I think FireCloud, because I'd worked with it previously in the hotels, I had a level of comfort with the program anyway. But when I tendered it and I looked at others, there wasn't one that was as advanced. I think the technology that FireCloud had was very easy. I love the little QR readers that we put up around the hotel. I like the way that it tracks and reports it through the phone system as well. And I'd seen systems where it would print out a paper report when the firewalk had been done. But one key selling point for me with FireCloud was, I get an email every morning and I know that every hotel's been checked. My group facilities manager gets an email. The general managers get an email, the property managers get an email, and you can see immediately. I know last night if a hotel missed 1 firewalk of the 3 they need to do a day, I know a hotel missed it, and I can follow that up immediately. That oversight that the system gave was probably one of the key selling points for me for FireCloud. Customer service element's great as well. You've got a fantastic team. I have a great relationship with Kevin. When I approached Kevin and said, look, we're looking for a document storage system, and he said, look, yeah, let me have a look at it and I'll see what we can do. And 12 of it rolling out the Fire Document Cloud storage system. So I think that kind of approach to solutions challenges we have in our business, I can have a conversation with Kevin and it's something that he's happy to go off and do. But the team within FireCloud have always been key for me as well. Absolutely simple. Joanne, initially in the early stages, we were onboarding 7 hotels in 2019, and Joanne was on the ground. She jumped in the car. She visited every hotel. She put up the little codes herself. She trained them on the system. She made sure before she left the hotel that everybody understood what had to be done. And then she followed up to make sure that it was being done. I mean, now we're at the point where Joanne can put the tags in a bag, post them to us, send the phone, and we can do it ourselves, and that's very easy as well, because we can onboard a hotel probably within a 48-hour period with FireCloud, because it's so easy to do. So no barriers at all. It's a very, very easy system. Yeah, a few teething issues initially, but they were generally to do with Wi-Fi within the hotels. You'd go back, you'd do the walk on the phone, you'd go back and you were being told, well, it wasn't recording or it wasn't tracking, but that was technology within the hotels. And we actually discovered there were some areas of our hotel where the Wi-Fi coverage wasn't good enough, so we upgraded those. But very, very simple. I mean, most of the hotel teams had it within 48 hours. It was very simple. I think the basic firewalk system that it evolved from is great. Definitely those weekly, monthly checks that are being done and recorded. Obviously we trigger every day. There's an 8-hour window where you've got to do your early firewalk, your late firewalk, and your overnight firewalk. But there's also that monthly trigger where your fire extinguishers need to be done tomorrow, and then they're done, and your fire doors need to be done next week, and they're done. And then everything that we've added on. I mean, with some properties now where they've tags on everything. I mean, we have a Legionella management system around the hotel where we're pumping a dosing chemical into our water systems, and the guys have put a tag on that, so they're checking the dosing chemical is there every day. With some guys who've put tags on all of their facilities equipment, and they're setting up their own checks now. So, we're checking the generator diesel tanks filled up once a week. That's a FireCloud tag now. I think the way it's evolving now and everything that FireCloud is throwing it at us, we're taking on. I mean, for me, it's knowing that, it's one thing to say, oh, we're doing 3 firewalks a day, but it's another thing to have it recorded so we know it's happening. So, we would have fire officers every year. We would renew our dance and liquor licenses, and to renew your dance license in a hotel, you have to notify the fire officer. The fire officer will walk in and do a property inspection, and as soon as any new fire officer or a new hotel comes on board, and how are you recording your compliance? And we tell them we're using FireCloud, and they smile, and I think it's not only given us that level of reassurance, but it's also given those inspectors that level of reassurance that, the group oversight is very key for us. So it's not just a system working within an individual hotel. We have the oversights at a group level. So that has been really key in that aspect for me. I think having a consistent product is really easy for us. We know the system, we know how it works, and it knows what we need from it. So, from that perspective, it is excellent. Joanne is superb. I mean, if there's a problem in any hotel, she wouldn't hesitate to jump in the car and go down and fix it. Even if it, was something the hotel were doing wrong, she'd still jump in and fix. I mean, the response is almost immediate. I think the customer service side of FireCloud for me would be an example to other companies as to how you respond to a customer. It's funny, when I get hotels who are giving out to me that FireCloud isn't working, and I'll ring Joanne, and Joanne will go, they're not doing something right, Chris, but I'll jump in the car and I'll go and help them. I have, we've quite a network within hospitality in Ireland, and anybody who asks me what system we're using, I would recommend FireCloud 100%. The peace of mind, it's knowing that you're compliant, and it's knowing that there's a system that's working with you, keeping our guests safe, we're keeping our employees safe, and we're keeping our buildings safe. So I wouldn't hesitate to recommend FireCloud.